thinking that we don't have that right, and that it's not the right thing to do, because it is.
Yeah, well, we have a right to protect our country for ourselves and our posterity. And again, the founding fathers of this nation clearly stipulated who ourselves and our posterity is. And a lot of people don't know that because they weren't educated properly. They were educated by the Ghislaine Maxwell's father's textbooks, Robert Maxwell Publishing, along with McGraw-Hill, to purposely not educate people on this so that they'll willfully be invaded. And what they don't understand is that ethnic Americans, we have our own libraries that have been in our families for hundreds of years, and we actually have all the original documents. Not going to be able to hide that. And now Americans are correctly identifying what it means to be an American and who our founding fathers were talking about when they said we the people. And a lot of people are starting to get a little bit uncomfortable. Well, you made us uncomfortable when you invaded our country. You make our children uncomfortable every day when they go to school and have to learn about LGBT faggotry, dick chopping, and critical race theory. Yeah, our kids don't need to learn that. And they push it thinking that everyone's just going to sit there and be quiet about it. They're not. They're not going to be quiet about it. And the thing is, they silence people on social media for so long, so heavily, that now that people are able to talk about it, they're freaking out. You have all these people running around saying, Twitter's the Nazi, it's a Nazi app. These people are all Nazis. Well, newsflash, people. We're way more fucking dangerous than Nazis. We're the ones that fucking obliterated the fucking Nazis. You're going to wish we were the fucking Nazis when this shit goes off. Okay, that's the problem. They're too stupid to even realize that we're the ones who fucking obliterated the Nazis. You know, that they don't understand what's coming with this bullshit that they've pushed onto us. They don't have a clue. And it's coming. And people are pissed. And they're not going to be invaded anymore. We never voted for the 14th Amendment. It was never properly ratified. The Supreme Court already ruled on that before, that the Constitution was not, or the 14th Amendment was not properly ratified. They assassinated Lincoln in order to force that through and keep us under wartime conditions. And then you go up to 1924, and what did they do? Well, we can go to 1913. They assassinated President McKinley because he was stuck on tariffs. He wouldn't give up his tariffs. And then they put in the Federal Reserve. We didn't vote for that either. And they've stolen our wealth ever since. And they went off the gold standard. We didn't vote for that either. And then you get up to 1965. Well, we can go to 1924. They forcefully changed the Naturalization Act at that time, giving some of the Mexicans and Redskins citizenship. It caused the Great Depression. And what did they do? They grabbed up every single one of those little fucking cholos and threw them across the border. 60% of them had U.S. citizenship. They didn't give a shit. They kicked them all out because they didn't abide by the 1790 Naturalization Act. So they were all gone. And then what comes around 1963, they assassinate JFK and open up our borders. So every single time they do this shit, it's connected with an assassination of our president to force it through. We didn't choose this. No one ever voted for this. No one ever wanted this. And they forced it onto us anyways. And they thought that was a good idea. Well, it wasn't a good idea because the end game of that is going to be very violent. Okay. And initially when they did it, people didn't see the repercussions. They fought back against it, but not hard enough. Now we see the repercussions, and now we see that no one ever supported any of this. This was all forced onto us. And now it's not going to be pretty. And now the hardest fucking people who've ever lived on this entire planet, the DNA, the most hardy DNA, the warrior DNA, is becoming activated, and they're pissed. Go look up Francis Curry, guys. Bring this up. He was one dude from New York. He was a pretty small dude from New York. In World War II, they sent an entire Nazi SS Waffen unit to blow these guys out of the water. Francis Curry, 19-year-old kid, says F that. He's got a machine gun in his hand, basically a rifle and a bazooka. This young guy charges at these motherfuckers, takes out all 6 of their tanks, and blasts them all. Only a few of them survive it. One kid took out the most hardened Nazi SS Waffen unit that they had. One kid, one American kid, took them all out. This is what's coming for these people. It's not going to be the Nazis. It's going to be the ones who obliterated the Nazis. And when they interviewed the Waffen SS Nazis after that, they said, we thought we were fighting a ghost. It was like we were fighting an entire regiment. We thought that they had set a trap up for us that we walked right into. And it was just one kid. One American kid from New York City. He wasn't even a big dude. Took them all out. So, again, these people cry about Nazis. They have no idea what's coming. The Nazis are like a cakewalk compared to what fire they've unleashed in America. And again, the hardest DNA of all of Europe ended up in America. And that's the American man. And they don't like it. And that's why they try to obliterate us by giving us shitty vaccines, shitty food, brainwashing. Gen Z has gone through the most grueling task of all time, and they've survived it. And they're fucking pissed. They're pissed. And they're ready to wage war. And these guys' DNA is unlike any other DNA the world's ever seen. And it's not going to be good for anyone who stands in their way. I saw that one with Myron Gaines, that little Gen Z dude, kind of nerdy dude, gets up there on stage and says, we're going to kick you all out. And they start laughing, trying to make fun of him. He said, no, I'm serious. We're going to kick you all out. And the look on Myron Gaines' face was just like, oh shit, even the autistic kids are coming after us now. Even they're speaking up. We're in deep shit. So yeah, they are. Good luck to you. You pissed off the wrong people. You invaded the wrong country. And now all of Europe, all Europeans across the board are ready to run mass deportations and kick out every single person that have been here for decades that shouldn't be in our countries. And everyone can sit there and say, well, that's not right. Well, fuck you, because it wasn't right invading us. And you didn't say jack shit the whole time we were being invaded. Now you're going to pay the price. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and this was all done with deception, under false pretenses, under the cover of the night. We had the last prior administration, which is an illegitimate administration, flying people into our country under the cover of night. And that's how you have to do it if you're going to do it. If you're going to try to mess with the Americans, okay. Because it's true. They fear us collectivizing, and they know they don't want to poke that giant. They don't want to wake it up. But unfortunately, they overplayed their hand, and millions of Americans are waking up, and they're pissed. Boomers are retiring, and now they're paying attention. They're turning their attention off their work. They're paying attention to what's going on in the country. They're paying attention to politics more and more. And boomers are really pissed. You see boomers come on here and they listen to a few shows and they're ready to start the deportations themselves. You heard Barry. A lot of boomers are like that. So, I mean, that guy that came on last night, he said, you don't want to be the bad guy. Well, it's going to take it. But I would say, I don't feel bad at all. I feel the bad guys are the ones that inflicted this upon us. I feel no qualms. I feel no moral hesitation about this. We got to take back our country. It's a ripping a Band-Aid off right now. Otherwise, we're going to have to do a lot. We're going to have to make an amputation later. I'd rather rip off the Band-Aid. Everybody knows that, this situation is unsustainable. Even the leftists know that. All the nons, you all know that. Everybody knows this can't go on. Everybody feels it. So who's going to be the one that decides what happens next? Well, that's the Americans. Everybody's looking to what the Americans are going to do. What are the Americans going to do? What are the Americans going to do about it? Now, I'm going to say a lot of things that none of us would have wanted to do or thought to do just a few years ago. We're willing to do it, and it's all we think about now. The game's over. The jig is up. We're taking our country back. No more games. We're taking our country back. So everybody can make peace with that fact and start thinking about how you can help that process. And for the nons listening in the space, I just recommend that you try to be respectful and get out of the way. And just do it peacefully. It'll be much better for you. DEI, your hands up.
Yeah, I was just going to start looking up where these ICE detention facilities are and these people that are coming and blocking the vans and whatnot. I think that's an easy one. I think that's a really good one. And I think if you go and introduce yourself to ICE and say, hey, I'm an American citizen, and I'm here not to get in any hassles, but I don't believe these people should be able to tee off on you. And I think that if you have Americans here that want to be the front lines between you and them, I think we have just as much right to be in that space as they do. And we're going to be there. So we just want to introduce ourselves and differentiate ourselves from the weirdos. Just do that. And I don't believe you'd have any problems.
Yeah, I like that, DEI. Yeah, I'm for all Americans getting involved however they can. And if we can get groups of us over there, it's a great idea. We don't really, everybody we as Americans, we generally like to do our own thing. We like to live our own lives. We have our hobbies. We go to work. We have our family. But unfortunately, we're forced to collectivize now and act in our own interests to secure our future, secure our interests. And that should be known. It should be recognized that hasn't happened in a very long time. It's not the way we'd rather not think about any of this stuff. But since we do, we're going to take care of business. Since this is where we're at, you notice that as soon as Americans have their eyes open, we realize what time it is. Twiddle's down there. You want to grab a mic, brother? Everybody can feel the mood of the country changing, and it's happening rapidly. It's happening because Americans are getting fed up. It's only natural. So everybody here that's come in over the last few minutes or over the last little while, Trump is now, of course, the talk is Trump is passing on to the Supreme Court. the 14th Amendment. And we're going to have this scrutinized in a more legitimate way. Now that we at least have a legitimate administration in power, and everybody's got to get in and support that. Everybody's got to push that. You know, the job isn't done just because this is getting passed up to the Supreme Court. Those who are in power in this situation need to understand they have the full support. They've been given the full mandate by the American people. And we demand them to act on this. It's necessary. It's got to be done.
Good to see you, Twiddle.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. I am awake, and I was enjoying the. You thought the Nazis were bad. It's too true. I was speaking on it yesterday. I was like, it's like a lot of these people that like came and did all this manifest destiny stuff. The people that couldn't pioneer it and make it, they went back. This place was built by some hardy people, and that DNA hasn't gone anywhere. It's just been sleeping a little bit. Everybody's good times make weak men, is that old trope. But yeah, Gen Z's pissed. Shit, I'm pissed. I know General's pissed. I know all you guys are pissed. We can see what's going on. I just think the media needs to something needs to change with the media, and more eyes need to be seen, and the more truth needs to be told about who Americans really are, and a slow change or incremental change of our education system. So these kids can learn the right things. I think I don't know if it's too late for that, but anyway, good morning, everyone.
Well, the problem is that now people are waking up and people are being educated, and we have resources now. We're spreading the word. We have spaces like this. We have our own historians that aren't compromised, that are providing us and providing publications. You know, it's us not having history, you know, this not being taught history is part of the deracination and the stolen identity of American people. See, they don't want Americans to know their history because then you're not going to fight for anything. You know your history, you know then you know how it's been subverted. You know what's been stolen from you, what's been taken from you. So they want us to forget about all that and just be like, pretend like, you know, this is all we've ever had. We never think about our posterity, never think about our ancestors. Once you do, then you get pissed. It's natural.
He used a good word for it, dude. Deracinate. Tear up the roots completely. Salt the earth while you're at it. So we all forget. Nothing ever grows back. You do it that way. But no, I don't think they can kill the tree of liberty. I just think it needs a little water. TJ really is one of the best presidents. And same with Hamilton. I love our forefathers, man. I come from a constitutional highway. So I mean, I grew up going to Monticello and Mount Vernon, Williamsburg, all those places. Just haven't gone to Tennessee to see Old Hickory yet, though. I think his place was in Nashville.
Yeah, we have a great history, and they don't even want to talk about it. And that's why they don't want to talk about it, because people correctly identify what we are, who we are. And when that happens, it's going to blow the lid off of everything that they've tried to establish here. You have now you have Netanyahu saying that that Israel needs to buy TikTok and X because they're losing control. They need to control the media again. You know, how dare they let somebody else control the media? They lost total control because of the media, not because they ran around and did a bunch of shady shit that we told them don't do it. It's going to backfire on your face. And they did it anyways, and now it's backfiring on their face. And they think the only way to get around that is to control everybody's speech and silence everybody. They love censorship. That's how they get away with murder. That's how they get away with invading our country. These guys aren't gonna survive this. You know, you shit the bed and now you have to lay in it. It doesn't smell nice, does it? Don't shit the bed. It's that simple. You know, and you get all these people in here pretending to be all these other things, but you can immediately identify these people. Like, we were raised around them. We know exactly who they are. No matter what they say they are, we can immediately identify them. Like Candace here. Candace is Jewish, and she's up here trying to pretend like she's a black lady, Candace Owens, and saying she's Judeo-Christian. No, you're a Jew. We know that. Yeah,
You know I'm not Jewish. Let's be for real. Come on.
Yeah, you are a Jew.
I can hear the nasals. I can hear the nasal.
We know it, and that's the whole point. We can hear it. You can tell immediately when there's a Jew. They can't hide it. But then they lie. They lie and claim there's something else. It's not going to go well when you guys run around lying your ass off to people that already know what you are and who you are. You can't hide it.
Do you genuinely think I'm a Jew? Like, let's be for real.
Well, you claim that you're white, and you certainly are not white. Tell me you're not white.
No, I consider myself white. If transgenders can come up with pronouns and say that they're they, I can consider myself white.
No, you can't. That's the whole point. It's not a social construct.
But I am loving that conversation, and I'm actually learning something. So, and focus on me, please.
You're on the speaker panel.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we deal with every single day, and we've gotten really
cannot
good.
believe you called me Jewish. Like, what the fuck?
Well, you said you're white. You're certainly not white. We can hear it in your voice. You have a very distinct physiognomy. Voice physiognomy is very clear. You're not white.
You got to put that really, really bad picture of Candace Owens on your profile. Like the one that goes viral all the time.
Wait, you don't like this one?
I don't like Candace Owens.
Wait, why?
Are you serious?
Okay, what are your thoughts on what's happening, like her Charlie Kirk conspiracies?
She married her husband, a huge Jesuit, after 2 weeks of knowing him. I don't trust her as far as I could throw her. That's just for starters. And she's platformed. Anyone who has a platform like that, they're not to be trusted. This is organic in here. It's no paid bots. It's real Americans, real working people. It's all organic. We're all a big team. Don't panic.
Okay.
It's organic.
Oh, I mean,
So do you trust Charlie Kirk?
I mean, he's dead.
Before he was dead.
well, I mean, he was pointing out some very clear facts about Israel, and upset a lot of people, including all his Jewish donors. They wanted to silence him because Jews love censorship. That's the only way that they exist, is with censorship. And they lie, just like the Bible says. The ones who claim they're Jews but are not, they lie. They're of the synagogue of Satan. Just like you're lying to us, claiming that you're white.
Okay, but I'm not the synagogue of Satan, so.
You are. You're part of that. You're lying. You see how that works?
Wow. Well, I just want to be included. So if everybody in here is white, I want to be white as well.
No, you can be included even if you're not white. I'm not going to kick you out. But if you're dishonest, it's not going to do you any favors. This is a weekend show. We let everybody come up and speak. We don't have an issue with that. We have black people come up and speak. We have Jewish people come up and speak. Mexicans come up and speak. That's not a problem for us. I don't understand why you think that we wouldn't engage with you if you're not white.
I think a lot of people don't engage with people with the same views as them. So I just come here to learn and listen and put some input, my inputs sometimes.
Well, your claim that Nick Fuentes killed Charlie Kirk was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
I was trolling. I do not believe that. Like, that sounds sick.
Well, like I said, you know, thanks to Cash Paddle, the director of the FBI, I'll put it up in the Jumbotron. Thanks to Cash Paddle, the whole world has turned into a big game of Clue on who killed Charlie Kirk. Somebody's got to come up with a Charlie Kirk edition of Clue. Who killed Charlie Kirk? It's up in the Jumbo if you guys want to see what I'm talking about. Because he's made such a mess of this and everybody knows he's full of shit. So now it's up to the people to try to determine who killed Charlie Kirk. And it keeps shifting every single day. More and more evidence comes out, more angles come out. It's literally just one big game of Clue, is what it is.
General, at this point, I think I'm gonna chalk. I'm putting my chips into the. This is joking, of course, but it is Palantir probably, or some sort of AI, something I don't know. I don't think we're ever gonna know. It's like our generation's JFK almost. We got magic bullets and all that.
Well, you don't need to accept that, Twiddle. You know, we can demand answers. We can demand they get to the bottom of this. They tracked down January 6th protesters who were peaceful. They tracked their phone signal, all sorts of stuff. There's ways to find out who did it. And I want us to keep demanding answers. Maybe that's true. Maybe they'll never give it to us. But I think we deserve to know, and we can demand. And we're showing that demands work. Americans aren't used to putting their demands on the line, demands on the table. We're not, but we have to realize what time it is. It's time again to exert our will, to demand. That's another. We just have to get in the hang of thinking that way again, and shrug off our prior conditioning. We've been so successful for so long. We've gotten out of war mode, but the point is, whether we voted for it or wanted it or not, now we're in wartime. It's a different kind of war. It's a new war, but that's what it is. And one of the demands we can have going forward is that we're not going to have nods representing us and telling us what's good for our country and telling us what they're going to do for us. When we look at when Cash App comes out, Cash App, because that's his name, right? We don't need to give him his kind of marketing name. Cash, right? Cash App, Patel, who's Indian, who's not American. When he comes out and is talking about Charlie Kirk, that's just another guy to him. To us, that's a sibling, that's a son, that's a brother, or that's us. To him, it's just a guy. I mean, he doesn't have that visceral attachment to him. Cash App knows he's not American. He knows he's Indian. You're not going to hear Cash App ever say anything bad about the Indians. You're not going to hear Cash App advocate for mass deportations. You're not going to hear Cash App advocate for denaturalizations and remigration. I'm sure he's probably a nice guy or a friendly guy, but he's an alien. And the presence of himself and his family member and his kins, it presents a threat. It presents somebody that's not going to do what it takes to get to the bottom of crimes that are inflicted upon the American people. And it represents the degrading of standards. We all see him standing up there like he doesn't know what's going on, because he doesn't, and he doesn't care that much. He cared about making it through the next TV appearance. We need Americans. We need Americans that are thinking about and doing what's good for Americans and want to help Americans, because it's their people. That's what we need to demand. Americans representing us.
I mean, to be fair, he does look like he's, tweaked out to the gourd every time he gets on TV. His eyes are both slam out of his damn head. He looks like the kind of type of person you see out at 2 o'clock in the morning, vacuuming their lawn and shit. It's kind of what it looks like.
I think he's using that. They take like lye and this. I think it's called like betel nut. They chew on it all the time. I see it at the gas. The guy at my gas station does it all the time. It's disgusting. They like cut your mouth and you bleed. But
I know when he was in it. It was in that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know when he was in that. Was at the Senate hearing the other day, and every like 2 seconds you hear him just like sniffling. And somebody, bro, would you sniff an 8-ball before you go in there? And I was like, God damn, man, it was some crazy shit. That was snorting Adderall. He's got that fucked up sweet bacteria going on.
Yeah, all members of Congress should be drug tested, in my opinion. We were talking about the censorship earlier. It wasn't just Netanyahu calling for this, and not to take over Vex, but the censorship. He's calling it a war. But he's also got people like Greenblatt, who's running the ADL, saying they're losing the war on basically defeating. They call it defeating Hezbollah or Hamas, but they're saying that capturing TikTok was an important thing to it to their quote unquote war. So this comes on the cusp of Charlie dying too, because they were already immediately coming out and calling for more censorship and all that stuff because of the blaming Israel online. But this has been talked about for a few years now. They've been saying that they've been losing the war, especially Netanyahu. He's come out and said it in English. He said it in Hebrew or whatever, that he's losing the propaganda war. He's went on a podcast with a bunch of Gen Z influencers. They're Jewish too, but they're a massive platform, I think, on YouTube. I forget their name. It's not Flagrant, it's something else, but it doesn't matter. He went on there and said, we're literally losing the war against Gen Z, specifically on X, specifically on TikTok. So the last Congress or previous presidencies, Congress screwed everything up and let TikTok get sold and bought up by Ellison, whose son basically is buying up all the media in Hollywood too, as we speak. Paramount and a whole bunch of other stuff too. So they're trying to capture everything so they can change hearts and minds and censor everybody and spread lies. That's what they're doing, and they're doing it quick too. And there's not a lot of pushback. Trump's saying he saved TikTok, but I don't know.
Trump didn't save shit. All he did was use Americans' power and our military and economic dominance to take TikTok and give it to a fucking Jew. That's what he did, so that the Jews can censor it and use it for their propaganda bullshit. And that's the problem. Netanyahu owns Trump. Netanyahu is the president of America, not Trump. And that's a fact. And this is the problem. This is why we're not getting the shit fixed that we need fixed, because Netanyahu doesn't want to fix America. He wants to destroy America. And he wants to do it while he destroys Israel too. He's fucking destroying Israel as we speak. The whole world is turning against Israel because this stupid motherfucker Netanyahu. He's the one who's responsible for all this destruction. He's turning the entire world against America as well. And people are sick of it. He wants to be able to do whatever he wants to do. And since he can't control the narrative and silence everybody, and everybody's saying, we don't support you. You want to go bomb the shit out of people? Do it on your own dime. We're not going to send you money. You fucked up our country with your usury so bad that Gen Z can't even buy homes anymore. They can't even get jobs because you imported the whole fucking third world. And that's what Charlie Kirk was calling out. Charlie Kirk blamed the Jews for that. The secular leftist Jews were the ones who flooded our country and destroyed it. So now Netanyahu wants to silence that too, so we can keep getting flooded. And he thinks that silencing people on X and TikTok is going to change that. People have been silenced on all the platforms, and everyone's pissed. And everyone's speaking up because this is dumbass. It's Netanyahu that's the fucking problem. And Charlie Kirk was fighting with Trump about this as well. Charlie Kirk went into Trump's office to discuss this with him and say, don't bomb Iran on behalf of Israel. This is bullshit. It's not America first. It's going to have a huge impact, and it's gonna backfire on the Jews. And it did. And it did. Charlie was right. And Trump went along with it because he's owned and controlled by Netanyahu. We keep telling the Jews, don't do this dumb shit. Don't shit in your bed. You're going to have to sleep in it. We're not going to clean it up for you. Don't shit in your bed. You're going to have to sleep in it. Don't shit in your bed. You're going to have to sleep in it. And then they go shit in their bed and they're crying that they have to sleep in it. It's like, well, we told you. You're an anti-Semite. You just hate us. You want to blow us? No, we're telling you, you stupid motherfucker, that if you do this shit, everyone's going to turn against you. And then you went and did it, and everyone turned against you, and now you're calling us all anti-Semites because we said you're fucking stupid for doing it, because we told you not to do it. And you did it anyways. That's what happens with these people. They're retarded. Jews are retarded. They do a bunch of stupid shit, like flood America with endless amounts of illegal invaders. And then they're like, oh, you're turning against us. You're anti-Semitic. No, motherfucker, you're anti-American. You're our enemy. You're flooding us with the third world to destroy us from within. And now we're calling you out. And all you can say is, you're anti-Semitic. Well, you shouldn't have fucking flooded our country with third world retards. That's your actions. Now you have to live with them because everyone sees what you were. And Charlie Kirk called them out for that too. Charlie Kirk openly blamed the Jews for flooding our country, which is 100% correct. And everyone knows it now. So it's just retarded bullshit. We tell these people, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. They do it anyways. And again, people turn on them and then they're shocked. And all they can say is, you just want to Holocaust us. No, motherfucker, go live in Israel. That's what we want. Go live. You have your own fucking country that we conquered for you and gave it to you because you can't do shit on your own. It's that simple. We don't want to deal with your shit. We don't want to run endless wars for your dumbasses. We don't want you in our country running these usury games through BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard and pushing everyone out of the market so we can't afford anything while you want us to keep sending you hundreds of billions of dollars to fight your stupid donkey-ass wars over there. We don't want to do that. We're not interested in funding your fucking welfare state anymore. If you want to do it, go ahead, do it. Just leave us the fuck out of it. We don't want to be connected with your bullshit. We're not going to stop you. Go ahead. Have at it. Have a field day. But we don't want you having control over our country, and we don't want to pay for your bullshit. And that's a normal standard position for any normal human being on the planet. It's not that we hate Jews. We're not anti-Semitic. We don't want you jerking our chain around and then telling us we have to pay for your bullshit after you shit the bed when we told you not to do it. This is what's going to happen if you do it. And that's exactly what happened. This is the problem. Anyways, guys, I'm going to start the main show now. We're coming up on 7 o'clock. It's time to get the ball rolling on that. I'm going to shut this down real quick and I'll pop.
Thank you, General.
Yeah, thanks for the code. I'm going to run to the store, but I'll be in there.
All right, we'll see you guys over there.
Wait, what is the main show?
Alright, while General gets that show fired up, the other space. The hell, he's doing it with his ethnic American account. What the hell?